Am I supposed to start reading from Reasons for Commending Resort and Other Gods?
Yes.
And so I summarize the last topic. Reasons for committing resort and other gods. Number 1, dissatisfaction. Number 2, fear. Number 3, distrust. Number 4, ignorance of Bhagwan. Number 5, bad company. Number 6, ignorance of doctrines. Particularly, the above 6 reasons lead the follower of Anya Bhakti to seek resort in other gods.
It is Ananya Bhakti.
Ananya Bhakti. Number 1, dissatisfaction. The man who is not satisfied with his life cannot believe himself to be happy. How so much wealth and prestige he may obtain, such dissatisfied people weep over the distresses before Bhagwan and pray to fulfill their desires. And where their desires are not fulfilled, instantly they become impatient and run into the shelter of different gods and goddesses, or adopt various means of mantra jap, tirtha yatra, dan, sacrifice, etc. Thus they are led to take resort in other gods. Such people who take resort in other gods because of dissatisfaction from their existing belongings should know that no worldly being or object is able to satisfy human greed fully. Moreover, man has to avail the accumulated fruit of good and bad actions committed by him in his earlier births. Therefore, as the situation does not change easily, in spite of one's efforts, one should be abandoning false obstinacy, accept the situation as the will of Bhagwan. Hence, one should hold patience, keeping trust that whatever situation has turned up, it has been brought up by none but Bhagwan. But in no situation, one should take resort in other gods, because if Bhagwan wishes that way, no other gods or goddesses are capable of doing anything against it. Hence, a Vaishnava disciple should never give up satisfaction and patience. So, to summarize this, it talks about the first reason in which followers use Anya Bhakti, which is to seek resort in other gods. So the first reason is dissatisfaction. So a person cannot be person who's not satisfied with his life, prays to Bhagwan to for their life to be satisfied. But it should be noted that human greed can never be fully satisfied. So when Bhagwan doesn't do anything, they become impatient and they run to the shelter of different gods and goddesses. But it should be also known that nothing can happen without the wish of Bhagwan, and whatever is happening to them is the fruits of past actions.
See, now here the first reason is about dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction here means that, for example, I am facing some trouble, or others are having money and materials and I am not able to have them. So these are the reasons or the situations in which people get inspired to take shelter in other god and goddesses. I have personally met some Vaishnavas when they have some problem or economical crisis, then they start consulting astrologers and ask them for solving their problem and ask for the solutions, etc. So according to us, if we are consulting astrologer, it is also Anyashray, because the situation which has been created in our life is not because of any of the celestial objects, but it is because of some bad karma we would have performed in our last birth. So we need to accept the result of those bad activities we would have done in our former lives. So we face some good conditions also, and we face some bad conditions also. So dissatisfaction is the problem when, because of being greedy or because of having some mental perception of attaining the materials to some extent to inspire us towards accumulating more and more materials. And because of that wish, we start doing Anyashray. Because according to Mahaprabhuji, we cannot demand for anything from Bhagavan. Means in Pushti Marg, we cannot do prarthana. You cannot ask from Bhagavan Shri Krishna to fulfill your wishes. Mahaprabhuji says that it is avivek. Why? Because Mahaprabhuji says that Bhagavan has all the powers. He is aware about each and everything about us. And therefore, if I am begging from Bhagavan, if I am asking from Bhagavan for anything, then it clearly means that you are doubting the intentions of Bhagavan. So Mahaprabhuji says that if you are doing prarthana, if we are asking for anything from Bhagavan, then it is avivek. Because by asking from Bhagavan, we have mentally we think that Bhagavan is not aware about me, or Bhagavan doesn't want to fulfill my wish. But Bhagavan will do that, surely do that, if it is in our benefit. But by accumulating the worldly materials, or by collecting more and more money or more and more materials, it is going to harm us. So in Bhagavad, Bhagavan says that I never fulfill the materialistic wishes of my devotees, because by being attached towards these materials, the devotees forget Bhagavan. So as it is in not their benefit, Bhagavan never fulfills these wishes, and therefore even if we ask from Bhagavan, Bhagavan never fulfills these demands, and therefore people get inspired towards begging for these things from other gods and goddesses, and that it results into Anyashray. But the problem is that our wants never end. Means we are never satisfied with the situation in which we are. We always feel that I want more and more materials, I want more and more things. So this is an endless process, and it is never possible that we get satisfied with whatever we have. So here Mahaprabhuji says that we must never ask for anything from Bhagavan, and because of such greed or because of this dissatisfied nature, we must not go and praise any other god and goddesses or start performing the methods for attaining all those materials from other gods and goddesses. So this type of dissatisfied nature results into Anyashray. So whenever we are in such condition, when we feel that I wanted these things but I am not able to have it, or whenever we have some problem in our life, we must accept those problems as a wish of Bhagavan. Means as Bhagavan wants that to happen, only because of Bhagavan's wish the situation has created in our life. And without Bhagavan's wish, even after using all the other methods, or even after trying other methods with all other god and goddesses, if Bhagavan doesn't wish to solve that problem, any of the problem or any of the situation, it can never be solved, even after taking resort of other god and goddesses. So here it is said that we must accept all conditions as Bhagavan's wish and never try. We can try to solve those problems on our standard, or being at our level, we can surely try to solve these problems. But because of the dissatisfied nature or because of solving the consequences, we must never take resort in other gods and goddesses, and must trust Bhagavan that he will surely solve the problems. Any question regarding this?
2.
Okay. Yes, continue.
Those who do not happen to be a disciple of Vaishnava sect by family tradition and are believers in other gods or goddesses continue to worship other gods and goddesses even after becoming Vaishnavas. They have a sort of fear in their mind that if they stop worshipping those gods and goddesses after becoming the disciple of Vaishnava sect, it will be a sin on their part. They also feel that other gods will take it as disrespect to them, and so becoming wrathful, they will bring misfortune to them. By such fear, some people hold offerings, flowers, milk, water, oil, etc., on special dates and festivals, at family occasions, and in illness before their family goddesses or gods, and other gods or goddesses like Lakshmi, Saraswati, Ganesh, Hanuman, Shiv, etc. The people who take resort in other gods because of the fear should understand that just as ministers cannot do any harm to the person who has taken refuge in the feet of the king, what harm can other gods or goddesses do to a person who has taken refuge in the feet of Bhagwan, Shri Krishna, the God of the gods? Also, being a divine particles of Bhagwan, Shri Krishna, gods themselves are the obedient devotee of Shri Krishna. A devotee is pleased when another devotee comes to the refuge of his own Lord and serves the Lord. Similarly, gods too are extremely pleased when somebody worships Shri Krishna and gives up their worship and devotion. Hence, those who have gone to the refuge of Bhagwan should give up resort and other gods without keeping any fear and should keep on the refuge only in Shri Krishna. And if they have in their houses idols and pictures of other gods and goddesses because of family tradition, they should respectfully entrust them to their believers or to the temples of respective gods and goddesses. So, to summarize this, it explains the second reason in which followers go to commit resort in other gods, and the second reason is fear. And so, if they follow another god and goddess, they fear that if they start only worship Shri Krishna, the other gods and goddesses will be wrathful and it will be a sin on their part. So, but this is not true because Shri Krishna is a god of all gods, and in fact, the gods are pleased. Other gods are pleased when the devotee comes to the refuge of Shri Krishna and does worship of Shri Krishna.
See, the basic concept is that there are some Vaishnava family in which their parents were not Vaishnava or their forefathers were not Vaishnava, and the children of those family, when they get initiated into Vaishnava Sampradaya, they are told that now you cannot worship Durga or you cannot worship Shiv and your Kuldevta, Kuldevi, etc. And in these situations, they just feel this fear that my forefathers or ancestors have been worshipping these goddess or this god, and how can I stop doing that? Or if I do not worship these god and goddesses, they will curse me or they will create bad consequences in my life, etc. So these are the fears in their mind, because of which they feel they don't want the god and goddesses to fulfill their wish, or they are not deliberately, or they are not even interested in worshipping that god and goddess, but they are just afraid of the result. Because the people who are coming from a Vaishnava family, especially, or whose parents or forefathers were not Vaishnava, they face these problems in their life. Because there is a pratishtha of a devi or of a goddess or a god in their house, and after being Vaishnava, they are told that now just leave worshipping them and do the visarjan of these god and goddesses in the river or a pond or a sea, and just start worshipping Krishna and do not worship these gods because it is Anyashray. So when we tell them this, they feel that they will curse us because my father was worshipping Durga, or this idol has been in my house since long. My ancestors used to worship it. Then how can I stop doing that all of a sudden? Or my whole caste is worshipping these goddess. So if I want to worship this goddess, the goddess will be angry on me and create the bad consequences in my life, etc. So these are the fears which remain in the mind of such people, and because of that they are inspired towards worshipping them in spite of being a Vaishnava. Means along with performing seva of Krishna, they even do some small rituals towards with those god and goddesses. They are just because of for maintaining this ancestral parampara, and they feel that we are doing right because my ancestors used to do that, so we cannot stop doing that all of a sudden. So I have seen in houses of many Vaishnavas that in the same room where they are performing seva of Thakurji, near that they keep the photo or a murti of Durga or Shiva or Ganpati, etc., and they do just light a lamp in front of them in the morning and in the evening, or sometimes even do some bhog and etc. So they try to continue the rituals which have been performed in their family since long, or once a year they visit the Kuldevta and Kuldevi. So these are the small rituals in which they feel that we are not doing anything wrong, but actually it is Anyashray. So in these situations we must understand it very well that all god and goddesses are the sevak of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and they always feel that Bhagavan is our Swami, Bhagavan is our, and we are their slave. And actually Bhagavan has created all these god and goddesses for managing the affairs of the world, of the universe which Bhagavan has created. So they follow his orders. So the person who is devoted towards Bhagavan, the person who is worshipping Bhagavan, how can these god and goddesses be angry towards that person or do something wrong with that person? It is not possible. So as we see in the story of Vrajavasis, that when they stopped worshipping Indra and they started worshipping Govardhan by fulfilling the orders of Bhagavan, then Indra was angry on them and he created problems for them. The thunderous rain used to continue for 7 days, but Bhagavan protected them and even made Indra realize that if a person is worshipping Krishna, then all the god and goddesses must never interfere in that, and they must be happy towards that person because he has chosen the superior most one, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So even after, even though Indra created problems for Vrajavasis, as they took resort in Bhagavan and they were not afraid as Bhagavan was with them, so Bhagavan protected them and they were not harmed by Indra. So this is the basic concept, that no god and goddesses create any problem with anyone if a person is taking
Raja, I have a question.
yes.
Before marriage, when they get a Janmashtami for husband and wife to see if they are fit for each other, is that Anyashray?
Actually, the problem with this tradition is that people think that in this method we are not worshipping anyone, but we are just trying to understand the effect of celestial objects on the person by considering the date of birth and the time of birth, etc. So it is even done in our families also, not just with you people. So actually this tradition is avoidable, surely. If you can avoid it, we must avoid this tradition and must trust Bhagavan, because Obviously, it means that we are trying to predict the things on the basis of these celestial objects. So if you can end this tradition, surely you must try to avoid it. And if not, then we must accept it as tradition and we must not connect it with Anyashray. But if anyone tells us, astrologer tells us, that do this method for solving this problem or do this vidhi for solving this problem, then 110% it is Anyashray. We must never involve in that.
Okay, fine, Raja. Understood.
But we must try to avoid it if possible. Anything else?
Ji, Raja.
So I had a question. If those people worshiping Indra or any other goddess or gods, like Indra, or if they know that within like all of our stuff, since they're in like the same Hindu religion, don't they know that Shri Krishna is like the greatest god? Why would they still worship Indra or their own, or the other goddesses or God?
See, people understand that Krishna is the superior one, and see, you are right. Sometimes it is because of lack of awareness also, or lack of understanding also. When if we don't read Mahaprabhuji, if we don't understand the concepts explained by Mahaprabhuji, or the people who haven't accepted Pushti Bhakti Sampradaya with understanding, means just because my parents are Vaishnava, I also get initiated into Sampradaya, but I don't have understanding of the Sampradaya, or I don't understand the concepts of Pushti Bhakti Sampradaya, then even because of such ignorance, people get inspired in doing such activities. Means parents just force their children to get initiated into Sampradaya, but children are not interested, or even they don't take any interest in understanding the concepts of Sampradaya. Then such people are, we find them to be interested or to be participating in such activities, actually. But other than that, these are the reasons. And if they are doing this because of ignorance, or because they are not understanding, or they have got initiated wrongly, then Bhagavan doesn't even accept that person as his devotee. He is just nullified as a devotee of Pushti Bhakti Sampradaya, or a person or a sevak of Sri Mahaprabhuji. Bhagavan doesn't consider him. Just by wearing kanthi in our neck, anyone doesn't become a Vaishnava. We need to have the feeling in our heart of accepting Shri Krishna as our resort. Only then you are a Vaishnava, and only then the method of initiation has completed. Otherwise it is incomplete only. And surely if anyone is performing Anyashray, then Bhagavan doesn't consider that person as his devotee anymore. Even after wearing that kanthi in his neck, he is just removed from the list of devotees in the mind of Bhagavan.
Okay, I understand.
Anyashray is like betrayal with Bhagavan, actually.
Okay.
And therefore, it is necessary that we read Mahaprabhuji and we understand what Mahaprabhuji is explaining us. Other than that, the people who don't understand Shodash Granth, who don't read Shodash Granth, and they are just following the orders of their parents, being a Vaishnava, their parents are also such who have ignorance towards understanding these Granths, then basically those people face these problems in their life, and they have such misconceptions in their mind. if we read Mahaprabhuji, then we surely understand that Mahaprabhuji is 100% is explaining that all other god and goddesses are also devotees of Bhagavan, and they get happy when we worship Bhagavan. As I had shared the story of Krishna Das with you people in the last class, that he used to, Damodar Das Hambalwara, he used to live in Kashi, and Kashi Vishwanath Mahadev is the deity who is worshipped in Kashi mainly. As Krishna is worshipped in Dwarka, same way Kashi Vishwanath Mahadev is worshipped in Kashi. So Damodar Das was the devotee of Sri Mahaprabhuji, and he was not interested in visiting the temple of Kashi Vishwanath Mahadev. But Mahadevji told him that I am also Vaishnava, you are also Vaishnava. All the other people who are visiting my temple, they are visiting to worship me. But I am not finding any Vaishnava with whom I can even do Bhagavat Smaran. So please visit me daily and give me the prasad of Bhagavan. So Damodar Das used to visit the temple of Mahadevji daily with the prasad of his Thakurji, and for doing Bhagavat Smaran, he used to do Jai Shri Krishna with Mahadevji, and then he used to return from the temple. So all the other god and goddesses, they are also happy when they find some devotee of Krishna around them, and when they have to meet such person in their life. So here we must understand very clearly that no god or goddesses get angry on us, or they create any problem for us in our life if we are Ananya devotee of Bhagavan Shri Krishna.
Yes, I understand that.
And I think
But
I want to add something here.
Behavior like Damodar Das can never be done without the Pratyaksha Agya, or with the direct Agya or order we receive from any god or goddesses. For example, now I feel that I must also visit the temple of Shiv like Damodar Das, then it is Anyashray if I do that. Or it is a wrong behavior if I behave like that. Yeah, you can ask now.
No, I just wanted to add something. So I just remember that that Prasang of Sri Mahaprabhuji. I think Mahaprabhuji got five different guards, right, from his father-in-law for puja, and I think Mahaprabhuji did the Visarjan of all the four gods in the Gangaji, and kept only one Swarup of Sri Thakurji. Right? So I think here we were talking about that sometimes we feel that if we have the tradition of doing, the puja of Kul Devi or Kul Devta, but since Mahaprabhuji also got the Panch Devs from his father-in-law, he did the Visarjan of four gods in the Gangaji and kept only Sri Thakurji.
Yes, this is true. After accepting Bhagavan Shri Krishna as our only resort, if we are also behaving like this, then it is a right behavior. There is nothing wrong in doing that. So let us conclude our class here today. We will continue from tomorrow. We will take the next topic. If there are any.
जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम राजा।
Dandavat Pranam.